into the minds of our authority figures. George W. Bush started a war because Americans were killed in 9/11. So why would you respond by killing innocent civilians? We've killed more innocent civilians in Iraq than we have killed Al-Qaedians. And guys, I hate to break it to you, Al-Qaeda isn't exactly the strongest organization in the world. They're just really, really estranged people. If you were to find their headquarters and bomb it, they'd be done. I mean, and it's my personal thought that we should get out of Iraq so we can let Al-Qaeda recharge and then we know exactly where to find them. But for now, we're stuck with going over there, killing every single person that's wearing a turban because we think they're part of Al-Qaeda. And there are still people that can justify that by saying 3,000 Americans were killed on 9/11. I don't have any exact statistics with me, but I'd be willing to bet that over the course of however many years it's been, there have been a lot more innocent Iraqi civilians killed than there were American civilians killed in 9/11. And I don't know why American life is more valuable than Iraqi life, but sure enough, things like that have become acceptable.
War has always been a very, very evil device that humans have, that we inflict upon each other. Let's just take a look at the Vietnam War, because that's the one I think in most people's recent memory. Obviously, the Iraq War is the one on everybody's mind. The Vietnam and Iraq War share some disturbing similarities to me, but with some obvious differences. The Vietnam War was strongly protested by a lot of people, some hippies, some not hippies, some people that were very against fighting, against the politics of the war. These people weren't heard. They were pushed away by police, stifled, and pretty much ignored until the president decided, okay, yeah, we'll pull out. Did the Vietnam War accomplish anything? I really don't think so. The economy certainly suffered for it, and I don't think there was anything to have been won by it or lost by it other than human life, and human life on both sides. I don't think anybody won this war. I don't think anybody won. Nobody can win in a war. That being said, the victor always writes the history and not the loser, because the loser's annihilated or forgotten. There's another war that I think is equally important, and it's the war that happened when America became America slowly throughout time. And you've heard me talk about the Native Americans before. We took over their land. We've put these guys in little tiny areas. They have a lot of land, yes, but if you've seen what their land looks like and you've seen the living conditions that they're basically living in a ghetto area. No water, no jobs, no hope for the future except to run a casino, which is their only source of income at this point. And that is basically saying, yeah, well, your values, we don't care about them. Here's a casino that you can run to make some money so that you can live. And it's becoming harder and harder for them to keep their society intact, because they're just surrounded by English, they're surrounded by our customs, and they have been forgotten and ignored because we won. It's our land now. We're Americans, not them. We deserve it. I get so annoyed with people when I hear them say, I'm an American, but this person that came over here from Mexico, they're not an American because they weren't born on this land, and I was. Yeah, I was born on this land, but I'm not an American. That Native American is. They were born here before me. Their ancestors have been here for centuries, yet we don't care about them, and we don't give them the rights and the treatment that we should. The war in Iraq is a very political-based thing. Not only have we killed Iraqi civilians, but we've allowed American soldiers to die. More soldiers have died in this war than the amount that died during 9/11. And Iraq has nothing to do with 9/11. I don't even know if Afghanistan, who we should be attacking, possibly, has anything to do with it. I don't know anymore. They've politically wrapped and warped this so much that the information to find out the truth is buried so deep. The politics of both sides, left, right, middle, there is no actual middle because everyone has their own stance on it. There can be no fair and balanced way to look at this anymore. It's been so muddied, so twisted, that there's no way to figure out exactly what the beliefs going on anymore. All I know is that more people have died during this war than there did in the initial attack. We initially set out to do a diplomatic maneuver, but that wasn't good enough. We wanted revenge. It comes down to revenge and the oil. The oil is possibly the only reason, and you can have your own arguments and viewpoints on this, it's fine, but the only possible reason that we could be over there is the oil. Is it worth dying for to get oil when we have alternative energy right here that we could study, that we could create jobs and do? No, I don't think so.
The next thing I'd like to talk about isn't really a morality issue so much as a really sad occurrence in American life today. I am a sophomore in high school, and there are people in my sophomore class that receive very high grades. Obviously, there's that in every single grade. But I'm very close with some of these people, and I can cite specific examples in which people have I can't speak today. People's grades have been A+, 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 and they have been furious because they are now number 2 in the class. That's sad.
The flip side of the equation here is that America is the lowest ranked, has the lowest ranked states, lowest ranked education level now of other countries, or it's getting down there, or it used to be really high, now it's really low. I don't know, again, I don't have the statistics, and I don't think those matter. The point is, we've tried to boost our education levels, and we've done this with programs like No Child Left Behind and things of this. We're now becoming so focused on, let's get the grades up there, let's make sure those kids are in school, let's make sure that everybody's doing this so that we can get these test scores and show that we're smart. Yet, we're sacrificing the physical education, we're sacrificing recess and time of play, so they're rambunctious, their energy level is high, and they're sitting there having to do work instead of being allowed to run around a little bit and get some of that physical stuff that we need. As a country, obesity is one of the biggest concerns now. Yet now we're telling our kids, sorry, you can't play and you can't do PE because we have to have that extra time to make sure that you pass this test, or we're in trouble. The school will be in trouble. So it's more important that you're not a well-balanced child. You're either going to, why can't we have well-balanced? Have both the physical and the education there, and the food needs to be good in the cafeteria. There's no excuse for not having healthy food in the cafeteria. Freshly made costs the same amount as buying in frozen pizzas. I know this kid, he's in elementary school, first, second grade or whatever, and they eat pizza on a regular basis. Pizza is a snack food. It is not a healthy food. I want to see eggs. I want to see the 4 food groups represented. We talk about the food pyramid, and they're like, well, they just kind of go, it's too much work.